Welcome to Nepali Oral History Project, Beyond the Gurkhas. Would you please tell us something about you, your introduction?
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to tell about myself. I am Major Retired Udaibahadur Gurung MBE. I have served 31 years in the regular army and retired in year 2000, and I then became a civil servant working for the Ministry of Defence in Colchester.
So how long you been living after retire? You live in Colchester?
I retired in 2000 and then joined the civil service. So it is my 15th year as a civil servant.
So you live with your whole family?
Yeah, I live with my wife, son, daughter-in-law, and a grandson as well. So we live in Colchester ourselves.
You live with joint family?
Yes, we live together with my son and daughter-in-law. So we like to continue our old tradition of living together with the son and daughter-in-law.
As you mentioned that you are a retired major, could you please tell something about your army background and history?
I have joined the Brigade of Gurkhas in 1969, and I've done my 9 months recruit training in Kedah, Malaysia, and then once I have completed my training, I went to join my regiment in Hong Kong, where I spent 2 years, and then I went on leave in Nepal, came back after 6 months, and then went to Brunei to join my regiment when my regiment was stationed in Brunei then. And then we went back to Hong Kong after 2 years in Brunei, and then I went to do a job in South Korea for the United Nations Honor Guard, where I spent 3 months. And then I went back to Hong Kong again. In 1987, we came across to UK and spent 2 years here. And then went back to Hong Kong for 2 years, and then another 2 years in Brunei, and so on and so forth. Came back to Hong Kong again, and during that time we did a lot of work for to stop illegal immigrants coming from China. So that was a very sort of busy job, and I think I've enjoyed myself very much. Once I've done that, I was then sent to UK again for another 2 years. And during that time, I went to New Zealand on exercise Long Look, an exchange exercise, where they sent one of the officers to my regiment, and I went to their regiment in New Zealand Army. And having done that, I then went back to Hong Kong again and did another 2 years, and then went to Brunei, and then came back to Hong Kong again after 2 years, and then the regiment amalgamated with 2nd Gurkha Rifles. I'm from 6th Gurkha Rifles. We amalgamated with 2nd Gurkha Rifles in 1994. Then I became officer commanding of headquarters company of the 1st Battalion of the Royal Gurkha Rifles in 1994. Then I served there until 1997, and then came back to UK in May 1997. Then I was company commander for the headquarter company for another 3 years, and then retired in 2000. So it's a long history, but I had to wrap it up quite quickly. So that is my background, where I started and when I left.
So since 2000, you've been living this Colchester area?
No, I was at Leak Training Camp in West Midlands for 4 years. Then they have decided to sell the military land there, where I was the commandant of the training area. Then I had to find another job, which I found here. So I came here in January 2005. Since then, I've been living here.
So you are living this Colchester, and I would like to ask something about Nepalese population and then Colchester Nepalese society, about these areas, because we are very new to this area. So could you please tell us something about Nepalese society?
When I first came here, there was no Nepalese society in Colchester. I thought it would be better if we organize one. So I have, together with other people living in Colchester, I have organized a society called Colchester Nepalese Society in January 2006. So I've been the chairman from 2006 until 2013. I was the chairman of the Colchester Nepalese Society. For, I think I've done about 8 years from the beginning, and we are now a fully pledged and fully well-organized society where we have got plenty of stores. We have bought for the benefit of the Nepalese society, as well as we have got a committee of executive committee of 5 people, for where the chairman, deputy chairman, secretary, treasurer, and assistant secretary works, and then there are a number of committee members, where there is a food member, entertainment member, youth member, and everything. So it's quite a good sort of organized committee at the moment.
Why did you decide to form? Is it necessary to?
Well, living in Colchester and trying to integrate with the British society at the same time, we have to organize something so that people will come together and then go outside and integrate with the British society. Because of the organization, we managed to organize like we managed to integrate with the Colchester ethnic minority as well at the same time, and we organized, we took part on all their activities, and we made known to all people in Colchester. So if somebody talks about Colchester Nepalese society, then they always know us in Colchester in general. So it is pretty good to have been involved in this sort of activities and try to be among with the British society or integrate in the British society.
Did you find any hard at the beginning when you established the Colchester Nepalese Society?
Well, whenever you try to establish something, it is quite hard initially, but because I've had enough experience. I had 31 years of experience commanding people and integrating with other people. While I was in the army, I went to Hong Kong, Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Hawaii, in the Western countries, for example, Germany, and also to Kosovo, and in the States, America, Canada, and Belize, and Falkland Islands. So I had to get in touch with so many people, and that gave me enough experience to sort out everything needed. That is why I have been the chairman of the group for the last 8 years. So it was not too bad. I enjoyed it very much and shown the community here a right direction, which they are now following.
And then did you work only for the elderly, or how did you manage with young generation?
Well, we try to bring them together by organizing basketball games, football games, volleyball games, and taking part on that, as well as we always used to have a youth group where my son was the youth leader as well. So he organized basketball competitions among other Nepalese people and with the other English people in cultures as well. So that is how we managed to sort out their need and old people's need as well at the same time. Because the old people did not want to go anywhere, they like to stay in one place. But I've organized them, I've given them sort of what do they need to wear if they're walking around, what they can do, what they can't do when walking on the road, or when they come to the traffic light. I have to tell them, I have to give them, when they come in the country, I used to give them a talk for about 2 hours. Then I can tell them, look, you should not do this, you should do this. That's sort of advice to them. And everybody was wearing the right clothes, because Nepalese people tend to wear lungi and saris all the time. But I've changed that culture and become close to the English culture. So hopefully, that has given them some sort of direction where to follow.
Did you interact with local community as well?
We were trying to do that, but again, it's very difficult, because older Nepalese people don't speak English. That is the main problem. But myself and other people, they would interact with anybody without any problem, because I've got plenty of English friends. Where I work, I'm the commandant of a training area in Colchester. All my staff are English people, so I don't have any problem with that. And similarly, all the other Nepalese people don't have any problems in talking with, interacting with other peoples. The only problem we have is the older people, which we found very hard for them to interact with these people. But we are trying hard and trying to teach them English languages as well at the same time. So when I was the chairman, we had a place called TAC-MEP, Tendering and Colchester Ethnic Minority Group, where they taught our old people English lessons. So some of them are becoming slightly better, some of them are not, because some of them do like to learn, but some of them don't like. So that's the problem.
And in terms of employment, I'm talking about in general, not particular age group. What is your opinion? Is it hard to get the job in Colchester area?
I don't think there is a problem in Colchester, especially to the people who wanted to work. But there are some people who doesn't like to work. That is the problem we have. But in Colchester itself, I think the young boys, they are not finding easier to find jobs here, I think. But the majority of the old people don't have any problem finding a job because they want to work, they will find a job easily. But the young generation, I think there are some people who are not employed at the moment. But we are trying to achieve that through, we take them to some places and then try to integrate them into the British society. And hopefully they will learn something about it in the future and then find a job themselves.
I can assume they're a very inspiring person yourself, and I would like to reveal any of your childhood memories.
I was born in Gandruk in 1951. I'm now nearly 65 years old, so I'm a bit old man. I have spent all my life, or not all my life, about 14 years of my life in Gandruk itself. My father decided to, because there was no school in Gandruk, or there was a school but in primary school then, and my father decided that he must give us education. So he brought us to Pokhara, where I spent another 3 years studying, and I passed my school leaving certificate in 1968, I think. I passed my school leaving certificate, and then after 6 months studying in campus, I joined the army. So I joined at the age of 17 and a half years old. So, yeah, it was.
I heard many of Paltania numbers, they do have always very memorable moments. Would you like to share that kind of any unforgettable memories?
Yeah, there are plenty of them. But I like to recall one where I was the company commander of headquarter company in UK, and suddenly the commanding officer called me in his office and said that, look, you need to go to Falkland Islands, taking over a company. And I went there I joined the A company for about 3 months, and then I gave them training, I gave them their, all the necessary paperwork, organized the exercise and everything, and went to New Zealand for not New Zealand, to Falkland Islands for 4 months, where I was the company commander for Falkland Islands, and the reinforcement infantry company commander for the whole of the Falkland Islands, where I could go from one place to another by by helicopter, and then I jump into a ship and then take me to another position where I had sent all my boys to do work for the local farmers. So I enjoy that, the most memorable time in my army career. I don't think I would never get that job chance again. If I can rejoin the army, I would rejoin again and continue the same experience I had.
Do you still have contact with your old numbers?
Oh yeah, I'm having my Numbers get together on 8th of August. I'm meeting them at Reading. So we are there about 90 people will be coming together. I'm the organizer as well at the same time, so I've organized it. We're going to be meeting at 10 o'clock, at midday on Saturday the 8th of August, and then enjoy the day with ourselves.
Do you ever contact back home with any family extension family members in back to home country?
Oh yeah, I have got plenty of extended family in Nepal, and I give them a call every now and then. And I've got my own sister who lives in Nepal, but I've asked her to come to see us today here in UK, so she's with us at the moment. My other family members are either they are in the UK or in Nepal. I've got a sister who lives in Farnborough, and I've got another brother who lives in London. He's the architect. He was the architect in Nepal, so he's here. So he's working here in the UK.
Did you ever come across any difficulties or discrimination, any kind of experience being a Nepali or being a ex-Gurkhas in terms of searching for a job or living in a mainstream society? Did you have any that kind of particular experiences?
I never had any as such, because I don't live in the Nepalese community itself. I live slightly away from the, where I live now is there are only 2 Nepalese away from me, again 500, 600 meters away from me. So I live with the English community. I live along with the doctors and doctors. One of our neighbor is a doctor. Are both doctors, husband and wife, and their son is also a reading doctor as well, and all the old people there. So I live with the mainstream British society. So I don't find any difficulties living in Colchester along with the British society or British in terms of British people.
So when would you see your life after 5 years, after retired life obviously? Would you like to stay continuously in the UK, or you would like to go back to home country?
I'd like to go back to Nepal as long as the political situation changes in Nepal. That is my big block for me to go back to Nepal, because the political situation is not very good at the moment, and the Nepalese government has not been able to write the constitution as yet. So if that goes well and they write the constitution and there is fair for everyone, I like to go back to Nepal and live there.
Colchester Nepalese Society, different other location, they have a different region-wise, caste-wise organizations I found wherever I visited. Mm-hmm. Is there any, do you have whole one society, or it's different?
Colchester Nepalese Society means Nepalese, everyone, from Kami, Damai to Baun, Chetri, Gurung, Magar, Rai, Limbu. Everyone is together here, and that is what we call Colchester Nepalese Society. We are not Gurungs only, we are not Pungs only, we are not Rais only, we are not Limbus only. We are Colchester Nepali. Every Nepali who lives in Colchester are the member of the society. So it is very difficult to bring all of them together, I know, but we managed to do it. So it is working so far so good, so should be no problem in the future either.
The reason why I'm asking, they always put, like for instance, Colchester Nepalese Gurkha Society, but you didn't put that kind of...
No, because we didn't think that is right, because we are Nepalese. There are some Gurkhas, or majority are Gurkhas, but there are non-Gurkhas as well. So we don't want to bring them into the Gurkhali system. So we are known as Colchester Nepalese Society, that is why.
I might be wrong, but the very first time I saw very exemplary Nepalese society who is not putting Gurkhas and Nepalese, making that kind of misconception or confusion. It's really very recommended. I found very interesting as well. Why did you think that particular put the name very unique way? You're being yourself as a Gurkhas. You never thought that we should put Gurkhas. You didn't emphasize on that.
I didn't find that interesting, because we are here as a Nepalese, because I'm a retired man, so I'm a Nepalese. So why should we put Gurkha in the middle? There's no point doing that, because everybody knows Gurkhas. So why do we put Gurkhas there in the middle? And I've seen so many, organizations in the UK where they put some sort of Gurkha in the middle, which I didn't find it attractive. So I thought, why not we remain as Nepalese, not Gurkha Nepalese. So Nepalese become Nepalese, and I've done accordingly.
How would you address those community or group of Nepalese society who always emphasis put Gurkhas in the middle? What would be your message to them?
I think they are trying to, make them known as a Gurkha, but they are not Gurkhas. Gurkhas come from the hilly village in Gorkha. That is why they are known as Gurkhas. When they first enlisted, the Gurkhas enlisted in the Brigade of Gurkhas in many years ago. But now, once you are retired, you are not a Gurkha anymore. You are a civilian. That is why you are a Nepalese civilian, not a Gurkha civilian. Gurkha civilian is those people who come from Gorkha. I didn't come from Gorkha, so I come from Pokhara, or I come from Gandhara itself. So I thought, it would be unwise to have Gurkha in the middle, and I would ask or request all other Gurkha communities around the country to adopt that as well at the same time. But I don't want to force everyone. It's their choice. They have done it. That's up to them, because I don't want to force anybody to change their name, the names, so, yeah.
Thank you for taking part of the Nepali Oral History Project Beyond the Gurkhas. Would you like to say something at the end?
I'd like to thank you, first of all, for giving me a chance to take part in your project. I hope every Nepali will take part in your project, and I hope your project will go hand in hand and will achieve great things for the Nepalese people in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.